Happy New Year! Round 2 Wrestling is back for a brand new year here on the 2nd of January 2024. For those of you tuning in for the first time, I am your host with the most wrestling information, Slim the Kid, and you are tuning into a new style broadcast. It is broken down into 4 rounds. Round 1 is the Pro Wrestling Rumor Mill. This could be 100% fabricated BS. It could have a grain of truth to it. It's up to you, the fan, to decide what you'd like to believe. Move on to round 2, Pro Wrestling News. This is actual, factual, confirmed news across multiple outlets brought to you by me, Slim the Kid. Move on to round 3, title matches and their exclusive results brought to you by Round 2 Wrestling. Before we conclude this brand new Round 2 Wrestling podcast with round 4, did you know pro wrestling facts? However, this is round 1 and we are going to put our ear to the scanner. This is the Pro Wrestling Rumor Mill. The Western Australian Board of Tourism, who paid WWE to bring Elimination Chamber to Perth, initially asked for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to appear at the show per F4W Online. WWE signed fourth-generation wrestler Brogan Finlay to NXT per PW Insider, and this is son of WWE legend Fit Finlay. PW Insider also says Maddie Renkowski has now officially signed an NXT deal. Also, for what it's worth, Goldberg told the Steve and Captain Evil podcast that he has tried to be a part of Sting's retirement match at AEW Revolution. Whether or not that actually plays out into some sort of appearance or not has yet to be seen, and that is a interesting rumor to keep around for the next couple of months. Fightful Select also says El Phantasmo heavily hinted to them that his current contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling will be up on January 31st, 2024. AEW's Satnam Singh told the Hindustan Times that, quote, "We are planning to bring AEW to India and expose it here so that the people in this country know what it is," quote unquote. Former NWA Women's Champion Camille gave notice to the promotion in October per Fightful Select and will be leaving when her contract expires in January. According to PW Insider, Zelina Vega has, quote, "come to terms with WWE and signed a new multi-year deal with the company," end quote. Metro.co.uk says WWE NXT will no longer air on TNT Sports in the United Kingdom. The only way for fans in the United Kingdom to watch NXT will be to stream it as a subscriber to the WWE Network, a proverbial fuck you to our friends across the pond. Following WWE's DVD release of Survivor Series 2023 this week, PW Insider said it's the final WWE DVD set to be released. Could this mean that WWE will no longer be printing DVDs in the US as well? We here at Round 2 Wrestling will keep our ears to the scanner and make sure we will bring you the most up-to-date information on that as it becomes available. That draws to a conclusion round 1 in pro wrestling news. Let's keep this gravy train rolling and jump right into round 2. This is pro wrestling news. Here we go. Former AEW World Champion removed from active roster.
That's fucking stupid.
Following his World Heavyweight title loss to Samoa Joe on Saturday night, where many were left speculating what would happen to MJF. On Monday, it was revealed that MJF was removed from AEW's active roster. Could this be an indication that MJF is on injured reserve, or is it something bigger and badder that we as fans do not know. Another AEW wrestler announces departure from the promotion.
You what?
The chairman, Shawn Spears, announced on social media his intent to leave AEW and test free agency in early 2024. Spears is one of the many AEW wrestlers who have announced their free agency lately, including QT Marshall and Andrade El Idolo. Whether or not this continues to have an avalanche effect on the roster in AEW has yet to be seen. Former WWF/WWE champion inks new deal and merger in pro football.
You what?
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and former wife Dany Garcia announced on X, formerly known as Twitter, the merger of the two spring pro football leagues here in America, the USFL and XFL, to create a new spring football league called the UFL, or simply the United Football League. The USFL was a failed 1980s football league revived 2 years ago and has had moderate success. The XFL was Vince McMahon's first venture into pro football, failing spectacularly. Revived in 2020 and struggling ever since by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Dany Garcia. The inaugural United Football season is set to start on March 30th, 2024, between XFL champion Dallas Renegades and the USFL two-time champions Birmingham Stallions. Be sure to check local listings for time and availability. WWE employee with 40-plus years experience in WWE leaves the promotion.
That's fucking stupid.
Kevin Dunn, a WWF/WWE production and media employee who has been with the promotion since the early to mid-1980s, has parted ways with the promotion. WWE President Nick Khan took to a company-wide email to make the announcement Monday morning. No word on why Dunn is leaving WWE after 40 years, or if Dunn will work a different promotion sooner rather than later. Former Japanese wrestler Killer Khan passes away at age 46.
Oh my God!
Announced on Saturday by New Japan Pro Wrestling, it was reported Khan collapsed inside his Tokyo bar sometime Friday and died shortly after. Khan's wrestling career began in the 1970s, moving to the United States in 1979 and remaining there for most of the 1980s. His career highlight was a feud with Andre the Giant in Georgia Championship Wrestling. Khan would go on to work for several promotions such as the WWF, WCCW, Stampede Wrestling, the NWA, Mid-South, All Japan Pro Wrestling, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. We here at Round 2 Wrestling send our condolences and sorrow to any and all surviving members of the Killer Khan family. That draws to a conclusion Round 2 and pro wrestling news. Let's jump right into a loaded Round 3 title matches. However, warning, this next segment may contain spoilers for your favorite promotions, including results from AEW World's End pay-per-view, the All Japan Pro Wrestling Mania X pay-per-view, MLW Holiday Rush, AEW Ring of Honor, WWE, NXT, NWA, MLW, GCW, AAA, CMLL, New Japan, All Japan, Rev Pro, TNA, etc., etc. Here we go. Ring of Honor Television Champion Kyle Fletcher defeated Willie Mack to retain the Ring of Honor Television title. MLW Tag Team Champions Boomaye Fight Club defeated the Second Gear Crew via disqualification. Boomaye Fight Club retains the MLW Tag Team titles. NXT Heritage Cup champion Noam Dar defeated Josh Briggs to retain the NXT Heritage Cup Championship. The Devil's Men, aka The Kingdom, defeated Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion MJF and Samoa Joe to become the new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. Ring of Honor Pure Champion Wheeler Yuta defeated Matt Sydal to retain the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. CMLL Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer defeated Jaro Cheetah to retain the CMLL Women's World Championship. AEW FTW Champion Hook defeated Wheeler Yuta to retain the AEW FTW Championship. AEW Women's World Champion Timeless Toni Storm defeated Riho to retain the AEW Women's World Championship. Eddie Kingston defeated Jon Moxley in the finals of the Continental Classic to become the new AEW Triple Crown Champion. He is the Ring of Honor World Champion, the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Champion, and the new AEW Continental Champion. Adam Copeland defeated AEW TNT Champion Christian Cage to become the new AEW TNT Champion. However, Luchasaurus gave Christian Cage his TNT title contract following this match. Christian Cage promptly defeated the AEW TNT Champion Adam Copeland to become the new AEW TNT Champion. AEW TBS Champion Julia Hart defeated Abaddon to retain the AEW TBS Championship. Samoa Joe defeated AEW World Heavyweight Champion MJF to become the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Dan Tamura defeated All Japan Pro Wrestling World Junior Heavyweight Champion El Lindemann to become the new AGPW World Junior Heavyweight Champion. AJPW Triple Crown Champion Nakajima defeated Kento Miyahara to retain the AJPW Triple Crown Championship. GCW Tag Team Champions Violence is Forever defeated Wasted Youth to retain the GCW Tag Team titles. GCW Extreme Champion Joey Janela defeated Emerson Jane to retain the GCW Extreme Championship. GCW World Champion Blake Christian defeated Mito Extremo to retain the GCW World Championship. WWE Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley defeated Ivy Nile to retain the WWE Women's World Championship. WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins defeated Drew McIntyre to retain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That concludes round 3, and we are at the end of round 2 wrestling, and that means it's time for round 4, Did You Know? Did You Know are little bits of information and facts about the wrestling world you may or may not have known about. You gotta love the bell. Did you know Greg the Hammer Valentine, Roddy Rowdy Piper, and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat are the only 3 wrestlers to appear in the inaugural WCW Starrcade pay-per-view and WWF's WrestleMania 1? Did you know Antonio Inoki was a former WWE champion who defeated Bob Backlund for the title, but was never recognized for the accomplishment? Brian Kendrick did the same thing years later. Did you know Big Van Vader was the first wrestler ever to win 4 world titles on 3 separate continents, 3 of them simultaneously? Did you know both the Fabulous Freebirds and the Nasty Boys have negative title reigns in WCW? The Freebirds won the WCW Tag Team titles on February 24th, 1991 at WrestleWar 91, but lost the titles at a TV taping on February 18th for a negative 6-day title reign. The Nasty Boys won the WCW Tag Team titles at Slamboree on May 21st, 1995, but lost the titles at a TV taping on May 3rd, 1995 for a negative 18-day reign. And Did you know WrestleMania 2 took place at 3 separate venues across the USA and took place on April 7th, 1986? This is significant because it was a Monday, the first and last time WrestleMania was held on a day other than Sunday. That draws to a conclusion. Round 2 Wrestling. I am your host, Slim the Kid. Be sure to tune in next week for a new podcast.